Yo, what's happening? It's your resume, founder of Wealth Weekly. Man, today's video, first I got to give a shout out to my main man, my nephew Kamalu. Again, we had his first birthday party today. His birthday is January 17th, man. We had a great time. It was so many people, so many kids. It was such a beautiful thing. And I love my family and our friends who come out to support our young man. It was super dope. So last night, I actually had the opportunity to go to the Martin Luther King 90th birthday and Awards Gala and celebration, man. It was a phenomenal event. That was my first time going, and I've heard some things expressed about the event in the past, and it continues to get better and better. But it being my first time, man, I had an amazing time, and I think they did a marvelous job on putting everything together, and even how they broke it out into three like distinct parts of the event. But one of the things I kind of want to talk about was just some things that I noticed, man, and some of the people that I had the opportunity to meet and share some of their stories, man. So, and also just like some things I wanted to kind of talk about, just being around other really successful people and like how you just kind of move and flow in those rooms, right? So, anyway, man, I got to shout out my guy Dan Hughes that invited me, man. He's an amazing guy. I consider him a friend and a mentor. So I appreciate you, Dan. Shout out to Dan for inviting me. And then also Chris Capart, man, who actually bought the tables that we sat at and told Dan to bring some people that he thought would add value to the room and to the table. And man, Dan thought of me. So I appreciate Dan for that. And then he invited two of my really good friends, my guy Ron Douglas and my man John Lawson. He invited those guys just because he saw how I interacted with them online. And, you know, they're mentors and friends of mine as well. And so that was the thing. I didn't even know that they were coming, right? I'm at the event. I'm surprised I see Ron first. I'm like, oh, man, what up, right? You know, he had mentioned, I had mentioned it to him because it ain't something that's either kind of like you know about it or you don't know about it, right? That kind of thing. So I was surprised to see him there, and he had mentioned that he was going. And then when I see my guy John, same kind of thing, right? I'm like, oh, man, like these are two of my guys. Like, you know, how y'all here? And then we all at the same table. So now I'm like, okay, this is not a coincidence. And so I get to asking Dan. I was like, man, well, you know, they're like, yeah, Dan invited me. They're like, but I ain't never met Dan before. And so I get to asking Dan, like, yo, man, what made you invite Ron and John? He was like, man, because I saw the way you interacted with them online and him being a friend of mine and him, you know, respecting me and seeing something in me. He invited those guys, man. So like the first lesson that I got yesterday was just like, man, you never know who's watching, right? Dan, you know, he'll message me every now and then, just kind of check on him, or he'll drop in Atlanta because he do a lot of business here. And he got a lot of connections here. You know, he always kind of hit me up when he in the city. But he don't really say much, though, you know, right? So he watching what I'm doing, and he's obviously, Diamond, what's happening? He watching what I'm doing, and he's obviously, you know, watching who my friends are. And so, again, that first lesson was like, man, you never know who's paying attention to your content, what you posting, how you carry yourself, the action that you take or you don't take. And that was just like apparent last night, man. And then also, man, who you associate yourself with, right? Like, who are your friends? You know, my friends, a lot of my friends are very successful entrepreneurs, but more importantly, like, they're really good people. Don Tisi, what's happening? They're really dope people, man. So you just don't know, right? You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's watching your friends, right? And so Dan is very, very successful in business, man. And he's so muted, like you would never, ever know that. Thank you, Don Tisi. I appreciate you saying that. She said we look great, man. Yeah, you know, and it's fun to, you know, throw on a suit, man, especially for a great cause, something to support MLK, man. But you just, like Dan, like again, he's super muted, man, very, very successful. Like the dude is a juggernaut in business and industry, you know, but he wouldn't say it. Even we had a time we were going around the table introducing ourselves and talking about what we were doing. You know, Dan easily, you know, probably one of the more successful entrepreneurs there. But he didn't even really talk about anything that he had going on, right? He acted like he was just a plug, just bringing good people together, right? And again, that is a part of, you know, his value that he offers to the world. So anyway, that was one of the first lessons. And then the other thing, man, it was such an amazing room. So the gala last night, some of the people that you may or may not know that they supported and they gave awards to. So one was the Dikembe Mutombo. He won, I don't remember what the award was called, but it was like it's a humanitarian award for the work that he's doing in Africa, man. And I believe he's from like the Congo or something like that. And man, there were a lot of kids out there in the Congo dying. But man, he used his resources, right? His capital, his influence from playing in the NBA and being, you know, a top 50 all-time player to pull together some people and resources, man, to build a hospital out there. And it's like the first one that just like operated with a level of excellence, man. And really like probably the first hospital in the area, you know, that had like real legit full-time skilled physicians serving, you know, that community out there. And I didn't even know he was doing that kind of work, man. And it's like literally he done saved over 40,000 kids' lives just from the work that he's doing, right? And so today is my guy Ty Cohen's birthday. So I called Ty. I always call my friends, tell him happy birthday. I don't send him text messages, right? And I was kind of telling him some of this stuff, man. And we got to kind of talking about legacy, right? It's like I was telling him about the gala because he had complimented us on the pictures, me, Ron, and John. And we got to talking about legacy and really started to think about, man, what can you do in this world that will have people talking about you, you know, a century from now, right? Because I was like, yo, we had a Martin Luther King birthday celebration, and they celebrating this what would be this brother's 90th birthday, right? And he been dead for decades. But we still celebrating his 90th birthday because of the impact that he left on the world, right? And that's amazing. And so it got me thinking like, man, you know, what are you going to do in your lifetime that is going to be so profound and so impactful in whatever your lane is, right? That will have people talking about you, you know, man, for centuries after you've been gone, right? It's a very powerful thought, man. And when you start thinking big like that, man, you start to make very different decisions and very different moves in your life, right? It's an amazing thing. And so I was thinking about that, right? And then one of the other people that won an award was Howard Schultz, who was the founder, and I don't know if he's still the CEO of Starbucks, but he's the founder though, right? And I didn't even know, man, that he's from like New York or Brooklyn or something like that, from the hood, man. And you know, he got a really interesting story and journey, man. So he's not like a white dude that come from a silver spoon and come from a lot of paper. You know, he come from the dirt. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy just listening to him when he's talking, man. He was so polished and so poised. And man, he was so smooth. I think that dude might be running for president, man. Like he was amazing. I was like riveted by his speech, sitting on the edge of my seat, like listening to him talk and tell his stories. And but it's like, man. So the other thing was, so there's two lessons, right? The third thing was just being in that kind of room with those kind of people, right? And how when you are coming up, man, and you're trying to figure things out, and you're trying to succeed, and you're trying to get mentorship, and you're trying to get access. Man, you gotta make moves that put you in rooms like that, because ultra successful people, man, they just as nice and as friendly and as caring and as giving as anybody else, right? But you got to get in the rooms, right? You can't sit on the sideline or try to make connections through the internet all the time. It's like, yo, they having a gala. How can I get in this room, right? Or you see people doing something in your city, or if you got to fly somewhere else, man, just get in the room and get around other highly successful people and start to build those relationships, man, because it's just as easy to do it, you know, as building any other relationship, right? And so, man, the people sitting at my table was so amazing. Like, there was a dude, and it is crazy just how, like how muted they were about their success. That was really interesting too. And I was talking to Ron about that. He was like, he thinks it's because like they understand that there's always other levels, right? There's always other people doing incredible things as well, and depending on your perspective, you know, in a grander scheme or like a bigger scope. And so, just to take the table on that, right? Man, there was a guy who had sold a couple of companies for over $100 million, right? And he was kind of acting like he didn't do that. Super chill. There was. And I ain't gonna mention me, Ron, and my dude John or Dan, because we were on the same table. Then there was Antonio Davis. Some of y'all, if y'all basketball fans, he played back in the day for the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller. Incredible player, man. He was at my table. Great guy. There was this dude named Ozzy, who just bought Tyler Perry Studios for $25 million. Super cool dude, man. Like, amazing. Been texting and talking to him today. And he's talking about putting out content, man, and a lot of stuff to support women. And just why he bought the studio, and he good friends with Tyler and everything. He learned from these guys, man. Then my guy Chris, who bought the tables, right? This brother owns shopping centers, he high-end real estate. His wife is like an incredible singer and vocalist, man, and she's in this group, and she was at the table. Like, it was just so many amazing people in the room. and they introducing us to their friends, right? And it was just like, man, like you got to put yourself in them situations. That was like a big, big lesson. Do your absolute best to get from behind this computer and go get out into the real world and connect with some of these big players, man. And the thing about it is they cool. Like they super cool, man. And then also it was another thing too. It's interesting. Another reason why it's important to get in these rooms is because how people meet you is very, very important, man. How people meet you, how you introduce to them is very important, right? So it's like when I'm in a room like that, like I'm gonna do my thing regardless, right? Like, man, I'm if you've ever met me in person, like I'm fun, I'm real cool, got a sense of humor, not a tight ass. Like I think I have a pleasing personality where people like to hang out with me and be around me, right? And so you got that part of it, but then it's like my guy Dan, who's a big time entrepreneur, doing a lot of things socially now. Me being brought into that room by him, that immediately made everybody that I met, they cool with me. They're like, oh, you a friend of Dan, you a friend of mine, right? And so everybody open, receptive. And, if I had just kind of met these people on the street or any kind of other way, man, it wouldn't have been, I don't think it would have been as easy to build those kind of relationships that fast, right? And so you borrowing credibility from other people. And so that's just part of just being in the room, right? So even if you can get yourself in the room, and if you don't know anybody, man, figure that shit out, right? Get in the room. Even if you can get yourself in the room, you get to talking to people, man, you're having a good time, having a good conversation. People are so social. Just because you add good energy, you make somebody laugh, man, you talking to them, y'all having a good time, man, they'll introduce you to their friends. Oh, man, I just met, Diamond, or I just met Donticio, or I just met Donnie, right? We got some of the people that's watching. They're going to show love, right? That's just kind of how people are, man. It's like, oh, man, I met this incredible person. Let me introduce you to so-and-so, right? And now you're building another relationship. And so, man, just get in the rooms, man. So it was a really powerful experience. There's a lot of nuggets. I kind of wanted to hit y'all with those three. Something else trippy that happened. So we were leaving the Awards Gala portion of the event and going into like the third party, which is more like the party and concert. Like they had Kumo D, some other old school rappers I can't think of. What's your boy? This is how we do it. I can't think. Montel Jordan, he was there, and there's another big act. I can't think of the name. Anyway, we go into that part of the event, and this woman stopped me, right? This older black woman. And she was sitting with her friend. She was like, man, I recognize you from somewhere, right? And I'm like, like I ain't famous or nothing, right? I shoot videos every day, but like I ain't just walking down the street and people just know who I am or nothing like that. And so, I'm like, I ain't no telling where you saw me from. Like I put out so much content. And anyway, so we get to talking. And she was like, that's where I know you from. She said, I was on your webinar. I guess it would have been a couple of weeks ago now. I was on your webinar and I was about to buy your product. But she's like, I ain't had the money. But she was like, man, the sales, the opportunity and the way you sold it was so good. She was like, even though I ain't had the money, I still like almost like try to figure out how to do it and put it on my credit card or something like that. And so that was crazy to me too, man, because one, that's never happened. Like I've never had somebody out in public stop me and say, yo, I recognize you because I was on your webinar and I was about to buy your thing. That's never happened. And she was just super nice, man. And so the last little point, man, is publishing. Man, you got to put out content, man, right? Whether it's webinars where you, you teaching, offering value, or you selling something. But like me, I'm putting out videos every day. And I didn't shoot one yesterday because I was at the gala and my phone died, man. And I was just so like locked in and engaged with the people that I was with that it just kind of slipped my mind. And I didn't have a charter, so I was like, whatever though, right? So I was like, I got to give a dope recap today. But man, just publishing, putting out content, man. No matter where you are, no matter where you start, like whatever you know, whatever you are knowledgeable about, whatever you're passionate about, whatever skills you have, man, start publishing, start talking about it. You never know who will take notice and what kind of opportunities and relationships it open up for you. All right. So man, this was a longer video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. People that's watching it live, man, holla at me. I got some comments I'm going to kind of go through real quick. Let me see. You never know who watching. Yep. I have a vast variety of entrepreneurs. I love this Make It Happen Late Night Live. I appreciate you. Yes, he's awesome. Can you know where to donate? Oh, to the, man, I will do that, Olivia. Absolutely. She said, Olivia asked me, will I drop a link so you know where to donate? Yeah, they did have a donation link. So it's not a link. So I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, though. Give me some real quick. Give me a second. Because I sent the text to it the other day. Oh, yesterday. I'm talking about the other day. Okay, so if you text MLK Day. So let me put that. Text MLK DAY to 44321. Yeah, text MLK Day to 44321. I just put that in the chat. Hopefully y'all see that. But it's text MLK Day 44321 to 44321. Text MLK Day to the number 44321. And you can make a donation. You can put in any amount. I think like on screen it started like $25. So yeah, thank you for asking that, Olivia. Yeah, I appreciate you asking me to do that and me dropping the link. So anyway, cool. That's amazing. Made a great change. He's the reason we have all the opportunities. Yep. Well, now he's. I haven't done it. You haven't done a good job or what, Donnie? I don't remember what I was talking about. They know the more you give, the more you receive by. Yep, absolutely. Diamond said they are humble because they know the more you give, the more you receive. Is about giving back, making a difference. See, I sat with a billionaire last year, a black man that didn't know until afterwards because he was so humble. That's love. Nah, I'm not mean at all. Yes, thanks for building that bridge. Montel, yeah. So it's crazy too. Montel, I didn't know because I hadn't seen him in a while. And I went to the bathroom to wash my hands. And so he had this really nice hat on, man. And like me, like I compliment people, men and women, whatever, right? And so we in the bathroom standing next to each other washing our hands. And his voice was kind of like scratchy, oddly, because he was about to sing. And I hadn't really like looked up because I was like down, like washing my hands. I was in the middle of washing my hands. But I noticed his hat. And I was like, man, you got a really nice hat, man. And so we were kind of chatting in the bathroom. And then, I come back out. He on stage and this is how we do it. I'm like, oh shit, that was Montel Jordan. I didn't even know that. But he was real cool and nice, man. If you want to be with that group, yep, skip. Yeah, you own one tonight, Diamond. All right, cool. I stay in the crib. Oh, Donnie, man, you got to get out in the streets, man. You got to get out in the streets. You got to meet people, man. You're a powerful brother. And like, I haven't even had the opportunity to really, really talk to you yet. You know what I'm saying? But we do our thing in the group. But I know you got a powerful energy, man, and you're really sharp. You got to get out here and let the people meet you, brother, and talk to you, man, and build relationships. You got to, man. I was with Ron last night, and he was like, we were texting today. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, man, you know how to work a room. He's like, man, I got to get better with that. But me, I don't even really look at it like working a room, man. I just love people, dog. Like just talking to people, being around people, and my thing, man, is like I always want people to feel better having met me, right? Like if somebody get the opportunity to meet me, I want people to be like, damn, man, I met Sharess, man. Like that brother made me feel good, or like whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? He said something nice to me, or he inspired me in a certain kind of way. So that's like a thing for me. And I'm very conscious of that, right? I don't want people to be like, yo, I met Sharess, man, and I was down and his energy was whack, or he was boring, or, he was dry, or he was talking about negative stuff. Like, so it ain't really that, man. It's just like a love for people. Like I really like rock with people, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just got to get out there, man. All right, cool. So that's it. So if you watch me on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, man, I ain't even drop a link to this because I just wanted to recap that event, man. It was an incredible experience. I got to meet some amazing people and, build some new relationships. So again, shout out to my guy, my brother, Dan Hughes, man, such an amazing guy. And, gracious for inviting me and Ron and John out to this event, man, because I didn't even know it was a thing like going on. So it was an amazing opportunity. Andrew Young was there, man. It was crazy. Like just the people that were in that room that I got an opportunity to meet and talk to. Rodney Bullard, got to shout out to him, man. That's my guy. I actually met him at his house for the first time. I saw him again there. So we're going to have lunch. Like, he's the vice president of Chick-fil-A, I think the foundation side. So it's just, man, so many incredible people, man. So get in the rooms, man. Get in the rooms. Share your wealth of knowledge, man, and just make people feel good when they're around you. All right. So peace, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Locked in. Won't be the same time, but it will be the same place. All right, I'm out.